Coming to you from the Deep South, this is the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast. High-impact leadership is not reserved for leaders, and it has nothing to do with your position, title, or rank. However, it does have everything to do with your character. It's time to climb to the next level and beyond, personally and professionally. Now, let's start making it happen with your host, Mac Story.
Before we get started with today's episode, I want to take a few moments and give you a preview of what you're about to hear and also direct you to some other series that I already have completed on my podcast. So you're about to listen to Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams. You're listening to a 30-part series on that. Today's episode is just one of 30. It's specific to lean leaders, lean managers, anyone who's leading teams of people through process improvement and continuous improvement projects, Six Sigma, those kind of things. It's not about the tools and the methods and all that. It's about how to lead teams of people. So any leader, anybody at any level can get value from this. But I just want you to know that's what this series is about. It's about that specific book. So hope you enjoy it. But I have some other series that may interest you if this series does not. Got a lot of episodes already out there, but I have a book called Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Front Lines. It's all about how to become a high impact individual, how to become a sought after employee of choice, an employee that people want to hire and want to promote. That series, there's a 30-part series, starts at episode 65. I have another series on my book, Blue Collar Leadership and Supervision, Unleash Your Team's Potential. That book is for leaders, formal authority leaders who want to learn how to effectively lead people. That series, 30-part series, starts at episode 111. I have another series. It's an 11-part series on my book, 10 Foundational Elements of Intentional Transformation, How to Become Your Best Self. That series starts at episode 158. I have another series on my Blue Collar Leadership and Culture, the 5 components for building high-performance teams. That book is really for the top leader, and it's how do you become the sought-after employer of choice. It's a 30-part series. It begins at episode 179. My wife Rhea and I, this year in 2021, the theme for my podcast this year was all about change. That's why I'm doing this series on Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams, because it's all about leading teams through change. But we have a 15-part series we recorded together on our book, Change Happens, Leading Yourself and Others Through Change. That series starts at episode 211. And then this Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams series, the one you're about to listen to, one of the episodes of, it started at episode 230. And will be a 30-part series, so it's going to take a little while to finish it. Hope you find value in some of these series. Let's get to today's podcast. Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast today. Today, I'm going to talk to you about righting the wrong. So if you haven't been following along, you need to know the context of what I'm talking about. So today, I'm on Chapter 9 is actually titled Righting the Wrong. The subtitle is Lean is not about 2 pillars, it's about 2 foundational layers. So if you haven't been following along, I'm on part 9 of 30, talking to you about my book, Blue Collar Kaizen, Leading Lean and Lean Teams. So the title of Chapter 9 is Righting the Wrong. Subtitle, Lean is not about 2 pillars, it's about 2 foundational layers. And there's some lean folks out there, I promise you I'm going to rub them the wrong way when I talk about this. You know why? Because this ain't what all the lean books talk about. Well, guess what? I'm improving the process. That's what Kaizen is about. That's what lean is about, continuous improvement. So all the books that I read in the past, been a while since I read them, but they all talked about lean, the 2 pillars of lean. I still say that when I talk about it a lot because a lot of people don't understand what I'm talking about when I say two foundational layers of lean, everybody talks about the two pillars. So when I'm just generally speaking about it, I still say that to keep from confusing everyone if I don't have time to teach them what I'm about to teach you now. But the two pillars that everyone in the lean community talks about and speak about are continuous improvement and respect for the people. But I talk about it completely different in this book. That's why in chapter 9 of 30, I want to right the wrong so you understand where I'm coming from for the rest of this book. But if you only listen to this one episode, you're going to learn a lot about these two pillars of lean, which I now call the two foundational layers of lean. You'll understand. I'm going to teach you and help you make sense out of it. Even if you don't know what it's about to begin with, I'm going to help you understand that too. I want to share a quote with you from my good friend Amir Ganad. I think a lot of Amir, he's got a great book called The Transformative Leader. And I quote him in several of my books that I wrote after I met him and read his book. But I like to get Amir some recognition. He's a top-notch guy. And if he really focuses on the executive type leadership, but he and I are on the same page. And we overlap a lot in what we do. But Amir was a very high-level leader in the continuous improvement and leadership development space within Campbell Soup, $8 billion Campbell Soup. He reported to one of the presidents of Campbell Soup in that capacity, and he was responsible for Campbell Soup globally relative to leadership development. And he did a lot. He was a plant manager of different organizations earlier in his career, so he was responsible for lean and all that sort of stuff. But he's got some good stuff. So here's a quote from Amir to kick off today's episode. Amir says, being intentional about discovering the hidden ways in which we sabotage ourselves empowers us to expose and eliminate these invisible culprits. So you can probably tell why I picked that, because when we're in the lean world and we're still talking about two pillars of lean, and that's what we believe, because the books that I read, they show two pillars like holding up a roof, and they kind of look equal. And I'm telling you, respect for the people and continuous improvement is not equal. It's not equal. That's why I talk about it as two foundational layers. Still continuous improvement and respect for the people, but I don't see them as equal. They're not even close to being equal. So let me share with you a quote from Alvin Toffler, or Toffer, Alvin Toffer, before I talk to you more about the two pillars, the two foundational layers. Alvin had this to say. He said, the illiterate of the 21st century would not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. This quote underscores the mindset of a successful lean thinker. And that's what I've done. Is I've learned lean is I learn it, and some of it I unlearn and I relearn. And that's what I did about these two pillars. I unlearned what I learned from all the lean books, and I decided I want to do it different. And guess what? I can do that. Anybody can do that. You don't have to follow the sheep. You can go do what you want to do. And if your way becomes a better way, then you're going to win and everybody else is going to win. If your way is not a better way, you're probably not going to be very successful. So consider the two unequal foundational layers instead of two equal pillars. The first layer is respect for the people, which supports the second layer, continuous improvement. So now I'm taking these two lean pillars that appear to equal throughout all the books that I read about, and I'm laying them on their side, and they're not pillars anymore. Now they're foundational layers, but they're not equal anymore. Now it matters how you stack them. So what I'm saying is respect for the people forms the bottom layer, the foundational layer of lean transformation. And it's also much bigger. So the lean foundation has the respect for the people layer at the base. And the respect for the people layer makes up 87% of the lean foundation. So it's not only the thickest layer, but it's also the strongest and most important layer. It's the foundational layer that supports everything else. And where do I get the 87%? It's what I taught you earlier on. That 87% of our results and our influence come from our character. 13% comes from our competency. And then you remember I said, relative to lean and the principles of lean, character, 87%, I relate that to respect for the people. And I'm now saying 87% of your lean initiative should be focused on respecting the people, developing the people. Because I've taught you already earlier in this series, when I say respect for the people, that's what I'm talking about, growing and developing the people. So the second layer is the continuous improvement layer, which makes up to 13% of the lean foundation. This layer is where all of the traditional lean tools and methodologies are found. They're important to the lean success too. You got to have them. However, it's the people who must choose to leverage these tools and methodologies for the maximum benefit. If you don't make your lean initiative program, whatever you want to call it, truly about the people, I don't mean just say it's about the people. I mean, you make it about the people. You grow and develop people. Most companies, they won't even teach the people how to lead a lean event. They got a lean manager or a lean consultant, somebody who's an expert, and they lead all the events. Because those companies, most of them, they don't have leaders. They don't even have leaders who will slow down enough to teach people the competency of lean. They just have a couple of experts that do it to the people, as I talked about last time. But I'm talking about in this book, how do you become a high impact lean leader? Able to generate high level of buy-in, able to sustain the gains. This is how you do it. You don't see two pillars of lean anymore. You see these two foundational layers, and you understand what they're made up of. Which one's most important? You got to have both, but which one's most important? And again, the people are either going to launch your lean initiative or limit your lean initiative. And again, ultimately, the people I'm talking about are the leaders. Are they going to go slow to go fast, or are they going to go fast to go slow? Are they truly going to respect and develop the people, or are they just going to use the people? Why are they telling them that they respect them as if they don't have enough sense to figure that out on their own? There's nothing that'll cause people to stop buying in more than leaders who think they're stupid. When they tell people it's all about the people, and then they make it all about the process. They ain't really nothing to do with the people. It's all about the money. It's all about the profit. It's all about the production. They may not say that, but that's what their actions say. People are not stupid. You treat people stupid, they're going to treat you like you're treating them stupid. I'm just going to go and tell you. People don't like to be treated like they're stupid. I bet you don't, and neither do the folks on the front lines doing the work. They are not stupid people. But there's a whole lot of leaders who treat them like they are. And there's a whole lot of leaders who think they are. And that's another discussion, but that's half the problem right there. So what I'm saying is the degree to which the people are respected will determine the degree to which they buy in to continuous improvement efforts. And this entire book is a way for you to truly respect the people, to unleash the people's potential. You don't have to do it, but you're going to have to deal with the consequences that if you don't do it, the people ain't going to be bought in. You're going to have to push them the whole way. None of them want to walk by themselves. So without authentic respect for the people, organizations cannot create, much less sustain, a culture of Kaizen. Remember, Kaizen means continuous improvement, small change for the better. They will simply be traditional organizations with better tools and methods for improving their processes. That's really what most organizations are doing. Most of them that call themselves lean Even some of the ones that are really, really good at applying some of the lean principles, they're really not a lean organization. Not the way that I talk about it. They don't really have true respect for the people. Those organizations, most of them, they just have a whole lot better managers than a lot of their competition. They're really good at managing people, not leading people. If you're in a company that says they're a lean organization, if they're not growing and developing the people beyond the lean tools, they're not anywhere close to the kind of lean organization I'm talking about. That's why I'm hopefully encouraging you to get this book, learn what I'm talking about in here, buy some of my other books or somebody else's other books on leadership, personal growth. Start doing it at least on a tiny, small scale where you do have control and you do have influence with these Kaizen teams. And I'm telling you, you're going to thrive. Those people are going to thrive. And yes, you may still have to butt heads with all these managers of people who don't understand it, but you'll be building strong relationships with the people. You'll be getting great results. So the takeaway for today is to remember, I'm saying there no longer two pillars of lean. There's two foundational layers. Respect for the people on the bottom. That's the big thick layer. You get that right, then you stack continuous improvement. Smaller layer on the top. Teach people the tools. They're going to want to learn the tools. They're going to want to implement the tools. If they're bought into you as a leader, they're going to be on board. I want to leave you with a quote today by Herb Kelleher. You may remember he was CEO of Southwest Airlines when they had so much recognition for being kind of like the Chick-fil-A of the airline industry. They were pretty special, but it was actually Herb who seemed to be pretty special. That's the way it always is. When the high impact leader leaves, the organization usually starts declining. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it goes slow. Depends on the other types of leaders who are coming into the organization. But this is a quote from Herb. He says, "The business of business is people. Yesterday, today, and forever." Sounds like he knew how to respect the people. That's why they got tremendous results. He truly had respect for the people. Truett Cathy with Chick-fil-A, he says he's not in the chicken business. He's in the people development business. That's respect for the people. Yes, they make great chicken sandwiches. Yes, they have nice restaurants. Yes, they have nice people. Yes, they have nice facilities, high quality food and ingredients. But what Truett Cathy brought to the table was true respect for the people, the kind that I'm talking about in this book. And I don't even know if Truett ever heard about lean or if they formally did lean while he was the leader. If they did, he probably was not the leader of the lean initiative, but he was definitely the leader of the respect for the people initiative. He would have hired someone else probably to lead the continuous improvement piece. And that may have been something my friend Jimmy Collins may have done, but he retired in 2001 after nearly 33 years. So he might have missed that. But I know Jimmy and I know what he was doing and I know who Chick-fil-A is and what they've done. I know without a doubt as COO and president of Chick-fil-A, my friend Jimmy Collins was focused on process improvement, continuous improvement, primarily of the people, but absolutely of the processes, how they do things. It's nothing new. Calling it lean for some people may be new. You may have not ever heard of it. And again, if you listen to me and you've never heard of it, you need to learn those tools. You need to learn about lean. There are principles that'll help you improve your processes just as fast and effectively as leadership principles will help you improve your own success and results and help you with other people, help you learn how to influence other people, how to get things accomplished through other people. That's what the leadership's going to do. But you go out and learn lean, read about the tools in somebody else's books. Because if you're a leader and if you don't know about lean principles, you're missing a huge component that'll make you highly effective and highly successful. But again, I'm teaching you about the foundational layer. This entire book is about that bottom layer, the 87% piece. the respect for the people piece. Hope you got a little bit out of today's episode. It's kind of short compared to some of the other ones, but that's all I really wanted to talk to you about. Was stop thinking about the 2 lean pillars, start thinking about the 2 foundational layers of lean. Talk to you next time.
Make it happen or someone else will. It might as well be you. Are you serious about taking your career and your life to the next level and beyond? Check out Mac Story's Blue Collar Leadership series books and others, now available on audio, along with paperback and ebooks at Amazon, iTunes, and Audible. Please visit bluecollarleadership.com to learn about Mac's books, programs, special offers, certifications, and more. Thank you for listening to the Blue Collar Leadership Podcast.